Good afternoon, everybody. We would like to present you our brand new design for KB526 Fusion iRoom. We are here to provide visual design and construction solution to an iRoom on 5th floor of Knowles building. The objective of the iRoom is to involve electronic enhancements and facilitate interaction and information sharing accessibility in multidisciplinary VDC or BIM teaching and training. There are basically three criteria for location selection. The first is utilization. The room should be able to benefit as much people as possible. The second is operability. The room should be able to better accommodate different needs and occasions. The third is correspondence. The room should be able to serve what is lacking for people in the Department of Real Estate and Construction.
The fifth floor of Knowles building is currently occupied by Department of Real Estate and Construction, accommodating more than 40 rooms that are separately used as offices, lectures, tutorials, and studio for surveying students. There are more than 50 staffs and 200 enrolled students. Most of the academic teaching and learning and the administration works are carried out on the same floor, so this is a high demand on space. After serious consideration, we decided to choose KB526 as our renovation location to change it into iRoom. It is the second large room on this floor, covering an area of around 1,800 square feet, currently used as lecture rooms and sometimes for tutorials. Room 526 is one of the busiest rooms in the department. A variety of events, lectures, discussions are held here every day. So after our renovation into iRoom, this room could serve most staffs and students and produce the highest utilization. Also, the room is in square shape with no observable columns in the middle of the space. This is more flexible to accommodate those high-tech facilities. What's more, room 526 is originally a lecture room, and we want to upgrade instead of reschedule. So obviously, this is the best choice. The virtual design construction VDC modeling will be adopted in the iRoom project. In the architectural design and construction process planning period, it unifies multidisciplinary work together and creates a general modeling. This could improve feasibility and effectiveness of the project. To further illustrate, surveyors, architects, engineers, and project managers used to work according to a certain process pattern, and these processes don't interact with each other, just like a product line. However, in VDC modeling, all of their work could be visualized together. They have the chance to focus what would happen in a project and make in-time reaction. This VDC modeling could help university educations improve cross-subject cooperation and is a very practical and visualized way to conduct academic teaching and learning. However, it requires more teaching resources and technology involvement, and also it only adapts to limited subjects. In practice, VDC could improve communications, leading to a lower future risk and give better management over projects. And it could also cost more and less applicable due to complexity in the operation.
Now we'll talk about our project design. What is your first thought of attending lectures in KB526? Would it be sleeping in class, chatting with friends, using your iPhone? Well, you may copy some notes occasionally. Hardly can we observe any interactions among the professors and students. Let's think of another scenario, tutorials. More interactions can be seen. Students may discuss the tutorial questions among themselves, and they will do the sharing afterwards. Tutors will give feedbacks and students may ask some follow-up questions. Undoubtedly, more interactions are occurring in tutorials, relatively better than attending lectures. But let us consider another factor, which is the flexibility. Flexibility in here refers to the ability that KB526 can adopt to various uses. We can observe that if having lectures, we need not have a high flexibility. Basically, students can fill up most of the space in the room, so KB526 is doing okay for lectures. However, if we are having tutorials in the same room again, it shows the problem of its inflexibility. If the tutorial class is just about 20 people, we can only use one third of the space in the room, and the rest of the room is just a waste in the tutorial period. And any ways to improve? Of course, yes, and here comes our project design theme, fusion. Fusion is basically consists of three major aspects, which are interactions, convenience, and flexibility. For interactions, we have smart boards and iTables installed in KB526, hoping to improve the interactions among students and professors or tutors. And their functions will be discussed in detail in the next part of our presentation. The next element of our design is convenience. Well, convenience is somewhat important to all users in the space. After thinking in the shoe of the users, we decided to include these following items in our room to improve the convenience when using KB526. Recycling bins and water drinking machine are particularly useful for students who enjoy the food in the room and also having some water during the break. Wi-Fi system and cloud system allows instant sharing of information and transfer of documents, which facilitate learning and for the convenience of the users in the room. Intelligent lighting system allows a more user-friendly adjustment in the lighting of the room, suiting different room usages. For example, dimming the lights when showing video clips. Another aspect is flexibility. Partition wall, movable tables and chairs are adopted in KB526. These items allow the room to be transformed into different forms, suiting different uses, such as having lectures or tutorials, or even having studio meetings. Most importantly, it can improve the space utilization in the room. Apart from what I've just said, stereo sound system is installed in the room to allow each and every user to receive equal quality of sound. In addition, the major color tone of 526 is white, silvery, and ivory, and these colors are used because we hope to create a so-called serious feeling after people enter the room. Students will be more attentive and concentrate, hopefully. But after all, our aim is that every user will feel comfortable and joyful after they use the room. So, okay, now we'll talk about the three major suggested uses in KB526.
Now let's talk about how we can convert the current KB526 into three different uses. For the first use, it is a conference room used for discussion circles. It is designed to accommodate 30 people at most, and it can be divided into two big round tables and two small triangular tables. The design layout of the room is basically to facilitate interaction between people and provide an information sharing base for them. Now let's talk about why it is a good conference room. First of all, in terms of layout, it allows four groups of people to form discussion circles, where they could have discussions after seminars. If certain conferences need to be held, the big round tables could also be used as conference tables. As for the style of layout, the tables are either round or triangular, thus people could actually sit around them and have more face-to-face interaction, facilitating the discussion. For the furniture, the tables and chairs are movable to allow flexibility, and certain facilities such as projectors, iTables, and smartboards, etc. are provided to give a good information sharing base to allow good presentation and information sharing. For the second use, it is a lecture room. It is designed to accommodate 60 people at most, and it can be divided into 3 rows in the front and 5 individual tables at the back. The room could allow effective information sharing, and it's a good lecture room due to the following reasons. First of all, regarding the layout, it allows around 30 people at the front of the classroom and around another 30 people at the back sitting in smaller tables. The furniture are all movable to allow flexibility, and lastly, facilities such as projectors and smartboards are provided so that the lecturer could give his speech or presentation in a much more convenient and effective way. For the third use, it is used as either a tutorial room or a second studio. It is designed to accommodate 32 people at most, and it can be divided into small table components for group discussion purposes. The room can allow tutorial sessions to be held, and at the same time, when unused, it can be used as an alternative place for studio meetings for students. It is a good tutorial room because, as said before, the furniture and are movable so that they could be formed into discussion circles for tutorial groups to work. Secondly, in terms of facilities, projectors and smartboards, etc., could provide a good information sharing base to allow good communication and presentation between the group mates.
We have used a POP model to demonstrate a complete project definition of the iRoom. The POP model includes the function, scope, and behavior of the product, organization, and process of this project. It helps to demonstrate an overview of the project at an early stage, which states all the processes needed during the project. In the organization part, the responsibilities of different professions are stated to allow better planning and division of works. Also, the process part helps to facilitate future management work as it shows the duration for different parts of the project. And here is the product, organization, and process parts of the POP model. So I will talk about how the element flexibility is being shown in our POP model. It is formed by the movable partition, movable chair, table and tables, and lighting. The movable partition is in Chinese style. It helps to subdivide the room to different sizes according to its use. For example, lectures, tutorials, or group discussion. This can help to utilize the space inside the room. And here is the photo of the partition room. Next, for the movable table and chairs, there are two types of it, which are two people or three people seats, and you can see it in the picture. The tables can be combined to form a larger table according to the length of the discussions. This gives the flexibility in group discussion. Finally, in our lighting system, a LCD control touchpad is installed to control the dimness of the room. The lighting can be dimmer when there is presentation using projector or during the light time. And at the same time, it can increase its brightness during discussion to improve the spirit inside the room. And you see the red arrow is pointing the touchpad, and here is the control panel of the lights LCD control touchpad, and they are contribute to become the flexibility.
Another main functional objective of the iRoom is interaction. To achieve this objective, we have identified 5 elements, and the following 2 are our distinctive features. The first one is the smartboards, which allow interactive display of animation, pictures, and videos with instant record of information and comments. 3 are fixed permanently in the front, while 1 is fixed at the back. Besides, there are movable ones at the 2 sides of the iRoom. So, how should the smartboard is used in order to achieve interactive display? As you can see from the user interface, the smartboard not only allows ordinary display of videos and pictures, but is also equipped with various key functions. Speaker can use the word function, denoted by the W logo, to directly jot down any key points on the smartboard. When the page is full, they don't have to erase them, and instead, they can scroll to the next page to continue. This is a much more efficient learning environment compared to the traditional blackboard. Another stunning feature is the iTable, which facilitates individual interaction and instant transmission of information. Altogether, 20 iTables are installed in the iRoom. On an iTable, a tablet is installed on the surface. User can use the chat room function, denoted by the I logo, to communicate with others in the iRoom when they have any questions during the meeting. If they do not want to type, there is an alternative way, video conferencing, which is denoted by the speech bubble logo. This function also allows instant transmission of information and at the same time facilitates individual interaction in the iRoom. The above 2 features are undoubtedly useful in achieving the functional objective of interaction. The third functional objective is convenience. What we want to achieve here is to solve most needs that users in the iRoom may have. And after considering all possibilities, we have decided to install a water drinking machine at the back of the iRoom. If users are thirsty during the meeting, they don't have to leave the room to look for vending machines anymore, but can simply use the water drinking machine. The fourth functional objective is security. To achieve this objective, two CCTVs are installed in the front and at the back respectively. The CCTVs are always turned on no matter the room is used or not. This provides evidence in case of accidents or crime. All the above features are essential in making the iRoom distinctive.
The VDC method has numerous advantages. By applying it in the real situation in the industry, the project can enjoy benefits never appeared in traditional models. To introduce all these kaleidoscopic business purposes, we will go into all of the integral parts of the VDC model. First is the POP model. POP model is basically an all-encompassing chart listing all jobs within the project in detail, stated with the stakeholders related. It coordinates planning beforehand. Work to be done are now organized, with all the important details included, facilitating the coordination of the planning of works. Besides, as it draws a clear line as to the responsibility of different stakeholders, it makes team cooperation a lot smoother. As a whole, it provides an overview of the project, as a bird overseeing city blocks at an angle imagined within the traditional methods. Next comes the BIM. Very obviously, BIM is a visual aid apart from all the verbal and text description. It realizes great ideas and thoughts into navigable models. Thoughts and ideas can sound perfect on first encountering, but problems can be hidden in all those grand descriptions. BIM then serves as an debugging tools, spotting out potential problems not considered in traditional 2D sketches. Also, BIM acts as a medium for the sharing of info. Info can be shared in a common framework, presented in an easily accessible interface rather than unheard-of jargons. The organization chart. This is to serve as an identification of roles. It plots out all the roles in the project, making teamwork easier and more convenient than before. Let's see our chart in details. The main contractor will be chosen through selective tendering. As the scale of the project is small, tender with the cheapest price will be adopted. And for subcontractors, negotiated tendering will be adopted. The reason is that all designs have some specific requirements and the price will be negotiated based on that. There comes a Gantt chart. Gantt chart is a project management tool, arranging all the schedule of works within one clear and well-organized chart. The project is to be completed in 81 days. Stages considered include preparation, design, pre-construction, and post-construction. So why bother with that complicated Gantt chart? There are numerous reasons and benefits behind it. First, it allows for better planning with all the jobs scheduled clearly. Time clashes can be avoided with the clarity of the chart. Any potential time clashes will be magnified and easily spotted. Then, the duration of the project can be easily estimated with a clear scheduling with a high accuracy. Different stakeholders can collaborate with these as everyone's schedule is clearly stated and circulated with the establishment of a Gantt chart. The potential benefits of VDC model is elaborate and can be confusing for some, so let's do a quick and brief summary of what the model can provide us, and the reasons behind its application. First and foremost, it provides an all-inclusive overview of the project, covering nearly all aspects of a project, going from structural plans, roles, and schedules. Second, it is a lubricant in info sharing. Info sharing has never been so convenient. With a uniform framework and format, complex, detailed info and data regarding the project can be circulated among stakeholders with the use of a computer. Third, management is much more transparent. As info is more liquid, stakeholders can have a much better understanding of the management. Decisions made can be transmitted in a more efficient way. Lastly, VDC provides a way to foresee possible clashes in it time space of a project. As mentioned in previous slides, clear scheduling and more accessible drawings actually make the debugging work all the way easier. Problems hidden in text descriptions become visible once the design is rendered in full detail in space and time. Okay, here's the 4D animation of our project. So this is demolition video. In the video, the red parts is the parts being demolished, and first we'll remove the furnitures, and then the stage and the doors. Next is the construction video. The green parts are the parts to be constructed or installed, and we will first do the smart board, and then we'll do the speaker system, and then the furnitures, the eye tables, the chairs, and the movable smart boards.
After having a look of the business purpose, now we will give a recommendation about the risk management. First, what are the risks? The main risk is time delay. The first time delay is the delay in material production and transportation. Some tailor-made products such as iTable and smartboards even have a higher risk. This risk can be identified by the form of products in the POP model as shown in the slide. Second one is the time delay in construction. In real world, there is a delay in construction projects due to technological errors and poor craftsmanship. Extra time is needed to fix the problem. This risk can be identified by the behavior of process in the POP model as shown in the slide. If we cannot finish the task within the proposed time, we need to bear the risk of time delay. After identifying the major risks, for whom is it a risk? For the first delay, it is the responsibility of the purchasing manager to address the problem. To prevent the delay, he should have better communication with supplier to ensure the products can be received on time. If there is a delay, he should communicate with project manager and main contractor to see if any changes of the schedule need to be made. For the time delay in construction, it is the responsibility of the main contractor to fix the problem. To prevent the delay, the contractor should have better monitor to subcontractors to prevent errors and poor craftsmanship so as to ensure the progress can be on schedule. If there is a delay, they should communicate with project manager to see if any changes of the schedule need to be made. All in all, effective communication is important in risk management.
So, who are the decision makers? And there are altogether two main decision makers in our project. The first one is a client who needs to specify the design and the performance requirement of the iRoom. He also needs to specify the budget of the project and make final decision and judgment on the design and the cost of the project after the consultant group finish the budget and the design. And the second main decision maker is the project manager. He needs to decide the procurement method and the tendering method. He also needs to manage and control the progress and the cohesion of the project. In fact, he simply acts as a group leader to facilitate communication between different parties, and he also needs to resolve the conflicts between the different parties in order to ensure that the projects can be carried out in a smooth way. And this is the organization chart, and we can see that the client and the project manager are being circled, and they are the main decision makers. And so, why do we do the modeling and the analysis in this project? There are altogether 5 reasons. The first one is that using the modeling and the analysis can help us to identify the objectives before the design. By using the POP model, we can consider the product, the organization, and the process to make our planning and decision more well organized and efficient. Secondly, using the Modeling and the analysis can help better communication between parties. For example, we can use the organization chart to know each party's responsibility and their work, and this can facilitate management. And for the BIM, by using BIM, different stakeholders can insert, extract, update, and modify information, and this can improve interoperability, and this can also facilitate integrated project delivery, which means that all parties work in highly collaborative relationship. Thirdly, using the model can facilitate the can help us to have a better schedule and control of the project. By using the 4D animation and the BIM, it can stimulate the construction before the physical implementation to help us to construct the sequence and the schedule of the work in a more accurate manner. For the Gantt chart, it is a very clear representation of the expected duration of each subtask, and using this chart can help us to monitor the process of the construction more efficiently. Moreover, using the model can help us to identify and minimize the risk. For example, using the POP model and the Gantt chart can help us to identify the risk and whether the task can be finished on time. And the organization chart can identify which stakeholders will address the risk and to facilitate communication and risk management. And last but not least, that using the model can help us to have a better cost budget and cost management. For example, by using the POP model, we can identify all necessary items and forms before we have the real design. And this can form the basis for our valuation and the cost estimate so that we can have a more accurate cost estimate before the construction. And so here is our budget. And in fact, all these items mainly come from the POP models. And the total cost is about 860,000 Hong Kong dollars. Then, so what? When following the progress of the project, we know that more information and design decisions have to be confirmed. And so that in order to fulfill this kind of decision and the information, the level of the modeling and analysis needs to be adjusted. For example, the POP model, initially we only have an A-level POP model because we do not have many confirmed information. But when we make more decisions, the POP model becomes a B-level one. And also for the VDC model, initially we only have a 3D BIM model. When the design is confirmed, we have to make the 4D animation. And for the Gantt chart, when we design more subtasks in our project, more subtasks have to be added in our Gantt chart to make our project more practical. And so this is our A-level and the B-level POP model. So all in all, Fusion is not only about our iRoom, it's also about our expectation to our whole industry. We really hope that through this kind of example, we can show to the industry that through using different kinds of model, for example, the POP model, the 4D animation, the BIM, and the Gantt chart, the construction can be fused together, and so as to work in a more collaborative and effective way. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you very much. I learned many things. First of all, last year we have learned the technological experience of the BIM and how to use the BIM to build out 3D models. And this year we know how to use the POP models, the Gantt chart, and also the organization chart to manage the whole project, apart from having a 3D models. And this is really important because this can make us communicate in a more effective and efficient way. And more importantly, we see all these models as a whole but not as a separate individuals. And as the project goes on, we know that we need to put more details in the models, and through this project we know that it is very important that we cannot contradict the different models. That all models should have the same goals and the same content, and this can make our project more practical and more well organized. And last but not least, through this project, we know how to communicate and how to learn from each other, because we have many meetings, and through this project we can know that different peoples have different strengths, and in order to have a more well-organized project, we need to have a good division of labor so as to make our project very smooth. And so that's the end.
This project, I feel like this overall project is fun, but it requires a lot of hard work. The fun part is that we can redesign the room that we always have in lecture, which is KB526, and we can adopt a lot of new elements and many high technologies inside the room, which can actually improve our learning. But the hard work part is that it involves many new models, such as the POP model, and it requires using the software Revit, and also the Gantt chart and organization model. It takes us a bit of time to learn all these stuff, and actually I'm responsible for the Revit part, and the process of building the whole 526 is quite complicated, and it requires a lot of hard work. But overall, this project is fun, and I've learned a lot. Also, it improves our team's coordination, and it improves our ability to work in a short period of time, which is quite useful for us in the future. And that's it. Thank you.
This time is quite different from what we had before. We've designed a house in year one, but trying to convert it, an existing space, to an entire new thing is completely different. We've had some difficulties during the process, especially during the design stage, because we're not familiar with the modeling program, Revit. So we have to actually start from scratch and learn it all over again. Fortunately, we did succeed in mastering it, and in the end we've learned a lot from this program, and I'm sure that I'll benefit through having mastering this skill, so that in the future I could make good use of this skill in my future, even in my career. And there are some other challenges, such as the difference in opinions between the group mates. For example, sometimes we have some different opinions for the design, such as we don't want a smartboard here, or we don't want some certain tables in this corner or something. But the good thing is that all of us are willing to voice our opinion, so that the final result of our project should be the best product. And what I enjoyed the most during the entire studio experience is the building of our team spirit. We've worked a lot together in semester 1, but this semester actually gives us more opportunity to further identify each other's strengths and weaknesses. So this studio really made us form a much closer bond than last year, and I really cherish this team, both as group mates and as friends. Thank you.
From my perspective, I think the iRoom project is very practical and also very realistic, especially for the surveying students like us, because we actually could learn something from the whole project. For example, I personally explored a little bit knowledge of the Gantt chart, and also made some organization charts. And also we actually studied a lot about the VDC modeling, the virtual design and construction, because this is really applicable in the whole project thing. I think that overall it's a very good opportunity to work with my fellow mates, and also to learn more about the iRoom design, and also about the POP modeling. I think this is a very good chance, and hope we can cooperate with it next time. Thank you.
It's really a piece of hard work. We have spent much time and effort in the piece of work. The various work results in a fruitful episode. The work we've done is not all that matters, but the experience we've gone through. The VDC model is something we've never come across with. This fresh idea was quite a burden on us at first. All the new knowledge we have learned about it surprises us. I understand more about the POP model, which was unknown for me. I can now handle Revit with much more precision and skills. Never enjoyed before. Besides all these solid knowledge, what is more important is the team spirit. Hard work and difficult work forces us into better cooperation, and we are more as a team and more united than before because we handle the hard work together and we've been through all these together. That's all.
I found this studio project quite interesting because it's related to STEAM. It's about the fifth floor of nose building, and therefore we can easily think of some ideas of the project. And also I think I learned that the interrelatedness of the high technology project in construction field is very important. For example, we have made up for some Gantt chart, POP model and Revit model, and these three models are closely related. It's very easy for us to make change. For example, when we input some change in one model and it is synchronized, and it can learn that and see the whole picture of the construction project with these high-tech tools. And I think it is very useful for us, and I hope that in the future, for the construction project, you can use this kind of tools and minimize the error. And also I learned that it is the first time for us to use the POP model to present some ideas, and I think it's quite good because we can present our ideas in a more organized way.
This scenario requires us to design an iRoom. Although in the last semester, we have some experience in building information modeling, this one is actually pretty different from the previous one. At first, we were not quite sure about the functional requirements, so our draft design was not comprehensive enough. But with the help of Dr. Gao, we have finally come up with a unique design of iRoom. And besides BIM, I've also learned some project management skills, like the POP model and Gantt chart. These tools are particularly useful in managing a construction project and identifying various key issues. All in all, I enjoy the experience of this scenario. The skills I've learned from here will benefit my future career. Thank you.
Through the teamwork with group mates in iRoom renovation projects, I made a further acknowledgement and understanding over virtual design and construction modeling. Also, we spent much time discussing POP modeling method through the design period of iRoom. The modeling methods have been extremely effective and helpful. Personally, I appreciate this opportunity to learn and to cooperate with teammates very much.
Studio, I have learned about the full picture of a construction project. In the previous studio scenarios, we mainly focus on one particular type of work, such as QS or BS or GP. But this time, we have gone through all the design, planning, and construction stage of the construction project. This can help me know more about a project, how it runs in the real life. However, I think that the time allowed in this scenario is not enough, as we are all beginners of all the software and models. We may need some more time to learn about it and coordinate with each other. Therefore, the project may not be as precise, and there may be some mistakes in it. Besides, there are something new experience in this project. The POP model and the ORID analysis are useful and new to me. The POP models help me to provide a complete project definition, and the way of running of this project can be shown clearly in a few tables. Also, the ORID analysis helps me to widen my scope of thinking. I can reflect deeply when using this analysis.